He is a DM. He is an artist. This is DM2Art. It's the Fulcrum. He has a cloak. That's some armor. And a shield. All right. Welcome, everybody, to episode 5 of DM2Art. Yeah, I counted. Or maybe 6. I'm very unclear. But I was asked by Rain to start numbering these. So here we go. Oh, okay, then this is 6. 6 episode. I'll say it as Dig Bungle. Welcome everybody to episode 6. I did that for Air because she thought that was funny last night. So here we go. I am working on Fulcrum today, and I need to get base coats down for his skin. I gotta get in the skin. So in order to do that, I have to actually select them all out with his skin. So we're on the illustration layer, which is where the original drawing sits. I got an awesome viewer today. Thank you, Air. Starting me out strong. Supporting the team. Supporting the home base. I can't keep that voice going for very long. Tell you what, I'll make it chat requested. Hey chat, y'all. I believe in democracy, or at least the illusion of it. But if you want this particular DM2Art run by any character, who's doing the art today? Because, you know, it's a weird coincidence. All the characters I'm in charge of actually are really great at art. I don't know why. It's odd. But, you know, there you go. But, you know, in the D&D realm, art's just not a really viable survival tactic. It's not so great. I gotta vote for Lindell. Tonko! Oh no! If I do, okay. I got a request for Tonko, I got a request for Lindell. You know, I never thought... Uh-oh, Does. Rest in peace, Does. If you remember. Tonko. Does would be silence. That's too good. That is too good. Somebody's in the stage of denial, in the stages of grief. Let's see. I see 1 for Lindell, 1, 2 for Tonko. I see 1 for Does. That's 2 for Tonko. Tonko always wins. Oh, Lindell. That's 2 for Lindell and 2 for Tonko. I need 1 tiebreaker so we can get this show on the road while you guys can all just start that going. Ah, vote for Skeezer. Oh, well, no, I can't disrespect. If I do Skeezer, it's pretty much Dibbin. That's it. Like, Dibbin is me attempting to sound like Skeezer. It was just a little of like, a lot of that stuff. Vote for Burl. All right, so I guess we're gonna make it monetized for point redemption. I don't know. This feels like a ploy. I feel like Jeff is adding point redemption funny voice on DM2Art just so people won't destroy his Pathfinder game through wild magic. Okay. Tonko, Burl. Crap, that's Tonko, Lindell, and Burl in a dead tie. Air Laser knows what's up. She knows how to play this out right. The funny thing is, like, he's trying to make it not burn out the points, and yet Air's the one that's giving him hero points so he can kill us for a TPK. This is, like, so strange. Wow, wisdom check redeem questions hopped up to 10K. He's just trying to burn out that economy. All right. I need one more vote and I'll take it. So I got Burl, I got Tonko, and Lindell. Voting can't last forever, y'all. Need that tiebreaker. I like him too. As Lindell was designed really from the get-go to serve the role I talked about in our how to homebrew breakdown. There's a suggestion of the NPC buddy, and the NPC buddy I really recommend to anybody. Lindell's a bitch. Oh, I'm glitching out? No. Don't want to glitch out. Am I actually glitching out? I shouldn't. So, Lindell fits the role of the NPC buddy. Yeah, sorry, everybody. Okay. And the NPC buddy's job, as I recommend to anybody running the game, is to both be a servant to the PCs, but also, and he should ride the line of subtlety so the NPC buddy doesn't seem like an authoritative god figure. The NPC buddy shouldn't be like a boss, because then you'll just create resentment, because PCs hate being commanded. They really don't like it. Like, for example, the moment you command PCs, you've basically created an enemy. Because, no joke, in that Pathfinder game, the moment that like local bully in Etrin's Folly walks into that bar, we're going to destroy him. Like, we'll literally stand in line behind Spicy Monk and just let him wreck that guy's face until he doesn't want to. So NPC Buddy is supposed to be a bit of a servant and also a bit of a reminder of what's going on. And Lindell was always that. So he's, there to help, and in a lot of ways he's also meant to be comic relief, and I'm never going to get tired of the back and forth between him and Valorant, because that stuff's gold. But Burl is a useless NPC buddy, because part of Burl on the ship is meant to be like a silent, gruff grandfather dad role, and that's no good as the NPC buddy, really, because there's very little communication there. So in a weird way, he's his own version of comic relief. Did anybody ever vote for the third? Because then that leaves it. I'll make it a die roll if nobody votes. So by the time I'm done doing the selection, if nobody's voted either way, I'll make it a die roll. I gotta get this selection done. Oh, the best thing is I'm like going through this and I'm already noticing like tiny things I missed. Like I missed the part of the armor because amateur hour over here, people. Woo! Oh, So, Animal G changed it to Burl. Did Animal G spend points? Because I got to do, we're spending point. Yep, he did. Scrolled up. So I got a Lindell and I got 2 Burls. All right. I'm really sorry, everybody. This is going to be ridiculous. Are you busy? Well, no, I know, but they're asking for you to come on. Okay, all right. So you guys have fun. See you in a bit. Thank you.
How you doing today? Mine's Burl. This here's my ship. Named after my beautiful wife. Taken from me in her prime. What?
They don't really want to hear you talk about. She's a wonderful woman, Burl, but you're supposed to be teaching them how to draw art.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's what you say. So, welcome to, who is this? Let me see here. This is one of the blue ones. This is one of the blue ones with the horns. This one's got the less horns. Okay. So, blue boy here, we're, tracing out every place that, you could be able to see his skin tone. Cause, and we're gonna be laying down tattoos, and we gotta trace out every bit of skin that he's got on him now. This is just terrible. I swear it was the most talking I'd done about a week. I could really go for a nice fishing day. Maybe have Bowron bring me up some rum. Maybe read myself a good whiskey label. I like a good reading day. Well, still tracing out all this skin tone here. Working with the polyagonal lasso. Some people ask me, where are them boys at? I'll be the first one to tell you the boys are, the boys, if you're looking for the boys are downstairs. Below decks. In the cargo hold. It's a safe space. You really want to talk about layout and you ever get yourself a ship that you're gonna pilot across the Volma Sea or wherever the fuck we are right now, then you really want to set your ship up and have some good safe spaces. Now, I can't recommend enough. When you're out there on a revenge quest to define your retirement by, or to a greater degree, your entire career, can't recommend enough getting yourself a good space for torture and removal of parts for irrigations. No. Or you may be thinking, why? Why? Do I need a whole space? You're just wrong. You gotta shut up and listen. Cause it's real messy. You gotta get them spaces. When you don't, you get mess everywhere. Trust me. It's like you wanna how real bad explaining things. Well, hold on here. Hey, come here. Right, explain the big room.
What? Yeah. Right. Oh, okay. So I think what Captain's trying to say, sorry, so Captain, is trying to say, is that, so if you've got yourself a work room to work with interrogation subjects, it's going to get a bit messy from time to time, and you're not going to want to have that be an improvisational space that just comes up, right? First off, if it's just like an improvisational space, you're thinking, like, sure, but the intimidation, right? If I can torture a man anywhere, I can torture a man anywhere. I don't need no space. But hear me out, okay? Here's why you want a space. First off, you get the intimidation of dragging them into the room. So they're like getting scared looking at it before they even get in it. Like the room works on two levels. First, like getting drugged to it. You can even give it a very ominous name, like the chit chat room. Or you give it like the I don't know, the smoking room. You give it like something that sounds really like not a big deal, but it turns out to be like a big deal. And then and then here's the other reason why you definitely want the room. You don't know how hard it is to get blood out of wood. It soaks in. It's a mess. So you got to need a room to do that. Just dedicate that room to being like a place that can just stay messy. So you just shut the door, don't go and look at it. Just don't go and look at it, shut the door. So that's why you want that kind of room. Is that good? Is that, Roger?
Yeah. Go on. Go check them on. Did we get rid of all the other little ones?
Yeah, did we drop them to Big Island? They dropped them off at an island.
I don't care. Okay, good. All right. So, there we go. What Lindell said. What he said was, it's real good. Real good. This is how it goes. Well, we got all the skin laid out on Fulcrum. Took a while. Tends to. But it's worth it, because now you can lay out, you can take your selection tool, your selection tools. All your selection tools are right here, 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 and they all make this little selection. Selection's like a quarantine, but you're moving dotted line. So you go in, and you right click on it, and then you get yourself a make work path. Set yourself a real tolerance. And you click. Oh, look at that. Blue just got more blue. Good job, blue. Or more, whatever, who cares? Now I go in here, I'm going to call it skin. I don't want to, you don't want to get your skins mixed up. That'll get, all these youngins get all weird when you get your skins mixed up. You say, that's a blue person, and they're like, you can't say that. And I'm like, I'll say whatever I want. I'll say whatever I want on my, what I'm saying, But I say that over there is a green person or a scale person. Oh, I'm just seeing blue and scales, but they're like, oh, that's bad, that's bad. Get off the ship. All right, so getting up here, we're gonna have to do. I have to call that cloak layer. Cloak. Well, hey, chat. There's chatters doing a lot of talking about numbers, so I guess that's real good. Don't care much for numbers. So unless the numbers, hard working currency. So now now I'm gonna lay down some skin. Ah, putting it down. Going here to my path. Now, never worked in Photoshop before. I may not seem like it. All you youngins are all prejudiced about me. Somebody looking old like me and knowing nothing about the shopping of a photo. You'd be wrong. So, so you make your selection. You save it as a path. That way you never got to select it again. So if I'm going in the skin, and I'm going to change the skin. Now I got a path, so I can change it whenever I want. Just turn it back on. So let's just turn it on. Make selection. Look at that. There it is. It just comes back. Well, whenever I want, it's back. Just come on back. Comes on back. Now, I'm on a new layer because I don't want to dump it on the original illustration. There it is, the original drawing. So now I'm going to take a color. Now, what color is Fulcrum? Well, here's a big one. Not too sure which way I want to go with this. So, because there's a big choice, big choice. Now we can always change it. I'm gonna look at his face, and this is gonna feel drastic. Now I'm gonna go in and Kodo kind of stays a nice royal blue, and you know, those are my thinking grumbles. Uh, so I'm gonna go a little bit more towards greenish blue, and I'm gonna pull some color out of it, and I'm gonna darken it up a little bit. We'll see how that looks. Maybe I like it. Maybe I won't. Kind of a in between color. But here's important. Here's important. It's important. You gotta listen. You listen. Youngest don't listen. Use your ears. We made the cloak real dark. Made everything else real dark. Oh, there's a laser for the hair. Good job on your followers. I got followers. You pull the boat into port. And you get your little guy to walk around and say, we're hiring, and that's how you get followers. So, I'm going to go in here and grab paint bucket. Paint bucket's going to drop the color. Go up here to blending mode, multiply. Now, kind of like that in-between color. Don't really know what color he's going to be. We can always come back and change it because Timmy's not with us right now to know. But I don't want to go too dark. And here's why. So we'll take a look at him now. Come up here, set an adjustment. Now I promise we're gonna work. We're gonna work on. We're gonna work on tattoos. That's a whole other kitten. You'd say I've seen some kittens. That's a whole other one. Now, I don't want to go too dark. See, you go with a dark blue, then he looks dark in the cloak. And I want the cloak to be dark. So he contrasts, so he kind of pops out. I want him to pop out last night. So I think the dark doesn't work too well. I kind of like him to be more bright, so he looks like a bright point inside of all these dark clothes. And I'm trying to say, what do you call that? When the word means something.
That's a metaphor, Captain. It's a metaphor. Metaphor.
There's a 4-meter. There's a 4-meter for how blue here's bright on the inside, but he's covered in dark. I don't know. I don't care. So I'm gonna leave him like that for now. And I'm gonna talk to Blue, to Blue's player, to make sure this is what he likes. Because ultimately he's got the right idea. Let's get in here and let's talk about some tattoos. Oh, let's talk about some tattoos. So, I will show you a reference. And you'll see my nightmare. Oh, it's a nightmare. It's nightmarish. Embroidery. Now, his tattoo is meant to look embroidered. So embroidery, as I'm a fool, is all these individual threads. Individual threads. So there is no way to grab a texture and bring it over unless I could find kind of this. Now, when I say kind of this, notice we have lines of texture that are flowing in a direction. Now, if I had individual thread colors going in one direction, and I had pages of that to use, kind of like one petal of this flower. See this where it says satin stitch? That right there would be perfect if I had pages of it, but I don't. I don't. What I got here is a bunch of flowers. Now I can look for things like this, but even this don't help me none. This kind of helps, but not really. So what does that mean, everybody? Oh, I think you ought to know. It means we got to do this by hand. And I'm not looking forward to it. It's really hard to do that. Not that painting by hand is hard, but it's just going to be real tedious. That's all right. That's okay. Now, we are going to subdivide out with paths every individual tattoo. And if Tim were watching, he'd get all kinds of insight into his own tattoo, which he doesn't even know. But he's not here. So here we go. I am grabbing the individual symbolic elements of his tattoo. Now, if any of you weren't aware, this here is Fulcrum. Captain Fulcrum now. Captain Fulcrum. He crashes the ship every time. Good captain don't crash a ship. So, now I am grabbing first tattoo. Fulcrum here, his tattoo is tied to the identity of what drives his patron. And that was discussed briefly during the last time they were on the deck. We went to like an island full of like fog and complaining. And I'm grabbing the individually colored elements of that too. So these are all the parts of the tattoo. Nope. Did that one wrong. Let's shave that off right there. Now, all these are sins, they said. Seven sins for 7 symbols. But if he were watching today, he'd learn which one's which. So don't tell him. That'll be real funny. And the answer would be out there on the interwebs. He wouldn't know because he didn't watch. So where do we go? I am coloring the main symbols first. And then they all are made out of the color that corresponds. These are all made out of thread, little threads, little strings. So each one's got to be a different color. And each one has a meaning. So gotta get them all laid out here. Gotta grab each one. Real sorry. You gotta watch me do a lot of lassoing. Ain't fun. Ain't fun to watch. Ain't fun to listen to. There's a lot of clicking, a lot of talking. And that's what it is. Technically, if you guys didn't want to hear what I had to say no more, then you could just say no. And that'd be that. I don't know if that one goes there or not. Don't remember. No, this one's right. Gotta find the last one. Is like, oh, yeah. Oh, Cam thinks everybody doesn't like listening to me. That's fine. It's because Cam doesn't run a respectable business. He's just a big old dummy pulling his strings, playing his little songs no one cares about. That's right. That's right. Well, fine. I didn't want to stay anyway. Fine. Oh, you can have a very nice day. Except for Cameron. You can get off the ship. Right here! Let's go.
Right, okay, well, alright. Okay, thanks, Captain, thanks. Everybody, I think Captain's feeling a little bit like he wants to go do something else, gets bored. It happens, So let's see where we are here. A lot going on. You can say what you want, but I'm pretty sure you drove him away. So I don't think that is one. Let me see what I've got here. I know what that one is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But I know that that is not one of them. Because I drew them earlier. And I think maybe the next one just like goes off the side. No, it is this one. It is this one. Okay, this one right here is not. Sorry, everyone. This one is not one. This one is simply like filigree, meant to go around. Because I wanted to lay out all the individual tattoos, and now I want to go around, sort of fill them in, almost like a tribal tattoo, because, you know, it's just an easy way, almost like a Zentangle, to go about things. And I inscribed inside this one, this is the last one. Yeah, this is it. Right, there we go. We've got the seven big tattoos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In varying sizes and in varying descending orders, which has actually been like a bit of a thing with Fulcrum, with, you know, what's it mean? What's the whole thing like? What's it mean? And I can't give it away because, you know, you watch the show, and I can't let Timmy see. You know, Bill was implying that maybe he'd tell him, but I decided, you know, maybe I'm not gonna. So tattoos main, and I'll have tattoos secondary. So I'll set up the same thing with a bit of a selection. Make the selection, and now I'm going to set up here and set up tattoos, and we call this one skin. And now you see, you know, we're only 37 minutes into the first bit of the show, and now we're finally getting to what was promised, because that right there is good showmanship. So now we get to play with brushes. Now, brushes is its own, I'm not going to say, brushes is its own tedium. Like, not medium, tedium. Like, it is a medium, but it's like tedious. So, but it's not Roy G. Biv. You're wrong, Rain. I mean, right, okay, sorry. Skeezer, I love you. You're a good man. You're a good gnome. I've never met a bad gnome, to be fair. But even Tonko, he's got his bright points. So, but though it is 7 colours, it's not Roy G. Biv. Actually, I will. Let's do a colour party. Am I right? Let's do a colour party. So, let's lay out what the colours are going to be. So, and I'll even lay them out by the tattoo, because I like to believe in letting the customer see what's going on. That is just too much zoom out, because I don't like to zoom out. It's too much. We'll go 150. Let's go 170 and get it just perfect, because sometimes the natural zoom out jumps is just a little bit too much. Oh yeah, that's right. He's colorblind. He can't see nothing, so it's going to be really fun for all of us in charge. Okay, so right here, I got my color information. I got my brush. Going to get a big old brush. Going to get 100% hardness. Going to get 100% flow. That way, when I make a mark, boom, there's a mark. It's a big mark. It's beautiful. It's ready to go. Except its opacity was set low, so you couldn't see it. So, boom, there it is. Big old mark, ready to go. So, the first one is black. It is the most dominant color on Fulcrum, and so it is simply black. Yay, black. And then the next one is silver. Now, how are you gonna make silver? How are you gonna make it? You can't make metal. Well, you're right, because you cannot make metal, not with color in a traditional sense. So you'll tell yourself, like, well, technically, black is the absence of color if you want to get super technical. So we can talk about color theory and color mixing, and I can explain both from an art teacher standpoint, but at the same time, I don't know who wants to hear that, because that's just going to be like a lot of not fun. So I think I've talked about in the past, actually. So I'll set the background up so you can see the colors a little bit better. Now we got black, we got gray. Why gray? Because you'll say, like, oh no, there is definitely, like, where am I setting these up at? These going on this layer? Don't tell me I'm putting on this layer. Where am I putting these? I just lost track. Oh, good. We're going to call that palette. I'm not a dum-dum. Sometimes I do dum-dum stuff. But this time, I was right. I was right there. So, I'm going to set that up top. There's my palette. So, black is a shade and the absence of color. And to do a shade of a color, which is in the element of value, you add black to a color. And then, even though we call tinted windows tinted, to tint a color is to add white. So, we got black, we got gray. This one here is green. So, I want to get a nice green. And I'm going to get not a neon green. Let's see. I want to get like kind of a sick green. Like the green looks a little gross. And you get good sickly greens when you infect them with yellow. Because green pushed too close to the yellow spectrum and then dirty up a little bit doesn't look healthy. It looks like a green that's gone a little bit sick, right? It doesn't look like lustrous chlorophyll green like trees. It looks like the green that's like from rot or decay. I don't like that green right there. I want to push it a little bit further. And a little bit more. And that's a good murky green. It's not pretty. I don't want a pretty green. So that's that color. Moving my palette up. This color here is going to be orange. And again, I want to try and get gross orange. No, I don't think yours is sickly. I think yours is like a nice, what do I call that? Yours is not a mint green. Yours is like an off-color lime green. You're welcome. So, see, I read the comments. I'm a little better. Don't tell anybody, but I'm a little better about comment reading than Bill. But don't tell him. So, now, I'm not going for bright colors right now. I don't want to get too... You can't darken orange without getting brown. You just can't. You just can't do it. So, I'm going to darken it just a little bit. This is going to come across a little bit brown. It's just, it is what it is. So, I'll make my brush a little bit smaller. And this one down here is going to be gold. So, again, we got the same problem we had with gray. Got to grab, now for silver, you'd say, oh, I got a silver crayon. I got it right here. It's sitting in my tray, silver crayon. No, you don't. You have a packet of wax that looks like metal, but I would not say it looks silver because what it is ignoring is it's laying down a clean palette of what's going to look like brushed silver, but it doesn't actually look like it's reflecting light. It just looks like a blanket pattern. And it's a pattern that doesn't really, it flattens things. It doesn't make them look three-dimensional. So the way you look, you make metal look like metal on anything, like this armor over here, is you have extreme lights and darks. You have really dark darks, really bright brights. You have a really wide range of value because that's how metal behaves in light. So down here, I got this as gold. And down here, I got this one is going to be red. And I want to go with a nice dark red. And then down here we got gray. I thought you said you got silver, you got gray up here. I do. It is going to be a bit tricky to make the two look different. But that is actually our color palette. That is what tattoo is going to look like. And the funny thing is, this is going to be very eye-opening for the player because I can say these colors all day. This tattoo, but it's more like I'm reminding them, just wait till we're done with this whole tattoo. It will wake up for the player. It will seem all brand new, just like entirely brand new. So honestly, I'm going to research each color. I'm not probably going to start with black because black embroidery will have its own problems. Because I can't do shadows, it's already too black, too dark. So I want to research that before I jump into it. So we're not jumping in with black. And it's been pointed out multiple times that black will be the dominant color. We actually gave him percentages, pointed out during last game, that black is easily like 40 to 60% of the tattoo is going to be silver and black. And then the next tier of percentages is the green and the orange. And then the next tier is the gold and the red. And the next tier is the gold, red, and grey in the lowest. Just the lowest. These three are all really low. It's not a priority, really. So these are about 5%. So these three will only appear in the symbol. But these two will appear in the symbol with tiny motes of it popping up in the little filigree on the sides. And then these two make up the majority of the tattoo. They will be everywhere. They'll be in the symbol, but also spread throughout. So that was always the plan. It's just that it's only recently that the plan has been brought to light by content and by people discussing things. So here we go. I got this. And now, real simple, I'm just going to come in here and just paint. I'm just going to do base coats. It's going to be so easy. Boom. Yay for me. Oh, I did it on the palette layer. That's dumb. Got to do it on the tattoo layer. Yes. Lovely tattoo. Good for me. Tattoo. Good for me. Tattoo. Good for me. Tattoo. Good for me. Tattoo. Oh. Spread out a little bit. Okay. And why not? I'll do the black up here. Already his arm is starting to look like a controller, or like a weird banner that's going to hang down from a tribal exhibit inside of a museum. Like, welcome to the Northwest. These are the native peoples of Oregon. Okay, so now I got to do a lot of stuff. It's going to honestly hurt Jeff's brain because he's colorblind. But this might be helpful because, fun fact, if you happen to know anybody that's colorblind, like Skeezer or Jeff in real life, colorblind people, though they cannot see color in its full spectrum, have a much sharper eye for value. Colorblind people can see light and shadow more clearly. So in the past, I've had colorblind art students that are much stronger naturally at drawing in pencil with light and shadow. They just have darker darks, brighter brights. They see a fuller range of grays. They just naturally do. So they can manipulate them easier. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to color sample on my palette layer. Gotta make sure I'm on the palette layer. Let's flicker that layer, make sure she's doing what she's supposed to do. Right, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to color sample this, and I'm going to come in here. I'm going to darken it. Make it dark. And because this is silver, we got to go really bright, like super bright, like white. I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to give myself a dark. And I'm give myself a bright. And when I give myself a bright of this color, I'm also gonna, oh no, we're fully saturated, so that's good. That's good. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. So it looks like I'm drawing these like a really. It looks like I'm drawing Eric Carr's The Hungry Centipede, the Hungry Caterpillar. So now I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna get a dark, which is going to look brown. It just is. Except I'm going to push it towards the red spectrum just a little bit to warm it up. Just a little bit. So it's not just dead brown. It's got a nice warmth to it. Color sample that. Push it all the way up. And push it up here. And then we get into like a nice bright peach color. And then this is different. It just is. You cannot have gold just darken. Look, it's going to be gross. So if I take black and I go into dark, what do I have? I have a dead brown. Just dead brown. So gross. So I can't do that. What you got to do if you're making gold is you got to go to a nice warm brown. It's a little bit on the dark side. That's all. So I got to push my spectrum just a little bit further into orange. So it's a nice warm brown. So I go down here. I'll honestly I'm just a hair off this color. You know, like a nice rich brown. And here I don't want to actually do yellow for my bright. I want white. I want to go full white. Just a hair off of white. Because, again, it's gold. And gold is metal. And on this one, in particular, I will go to black. I have to. Because if you had metallic thread in real life, it would go to black. Uh-oh. Somebody wants to hear my normal voice? Alright, hold on then. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. That's confusing. Somebody wants to hear Levi come back. That's fair. Hold on. I'll go get him. Yeah, they want you. Who does? Air laser. Okay. I'll come back. All right, here he comes. Okay, you guys have fun now. Hey, thanks, Lindell. He's a good one. He's really helpful. He's a buddy. So we are setting up value ranges on these colors for our pad. So I'm honestly, this thing I keep doing, color picker, love color picker. Color picker's my jam. I'm going to get a nice deep dark for all these colors. And this is just so when I come in to individually do the threads, and it's going to be a bear. It's really going to be tricky. Red. Ooh, red highlight, not fun. Why? You get pink. And the moment you add pink highlight to red, you stop seeing red, you see pink. So I'm going to cheat it a little bit and drag a little bit into the orange range so the red still seems red. No matter what, I'm not going to like this. So this is going to be a bit of a trick. I'm going to give myself some options. Because, again, I'm just not going to be happy with whatever this comes out to. Because when you do red, you get pink. And pink is not going to be a good look on this tattoo. It's really hard to make red look like red. Because it has to shine. Thread has a shine to it. Gray, this is just going to be kind of a dead color, honestly. We're going to jump to black on it. But in order for gray thread to not look like silver, we can't go as bright. So the highlight on the gray range is not going to be very high. You'll see me jump to just like the next step up, and that's about it. Like I want it to look like very drab, very boring. Now you can't see it because the background's that color, so I'm just going to dump white on the background. Yay. Ooh. We're talking about pan-specific flavors of color blindness. Fun. So I didn't realize how grainy this edge looks. It's driving me crazy. Like you guys got to realize when you look at this grainy edge of his skin, that is painful for me. So that's going to be fixed for next time. So now we've got a full range of colors paletted out for what we're going to do. This gives me a way to jump over quickly and grab color for painting. So let's take a look at, I'm going to grab an embroidery sample so I can show you how I'm going to approach this. Let's see, just grab a pattern. And I'm going to grab a large one. So got to get large. You got to always search large category, because if you don't search large category, you can't really see what you're doing. Not in the detail you should get. Look at that. That's beautiful. How clear it is. Does that look good? I don't like that. Oh, that's not even thread. It's like an embroidery where they've embroidered ribbon or fabric down to the page. That's kind of what I'm thinking right there. That's actually quite nice. So I'm going to grab that. Now, the thing that, hands down, took me the longest to do from the start of this whole process was painting Kodo's scales.
Because there was no quick way to do it. Outlining their location, getting them onto Kodo. There was no quick texture thing I could just do. Because if I did any quick texture thing, it would flatten Kodo and it wouldn't look three-dimensional. So I had to individually paint everything. And no joke, as much as I would like to walk through all of the embroidery stuff on Fulcrum here, that's not going to happen, guys. It's probably going to be a similar setup in that. Why is it not letting me select stuff? What's happening here? Control D. Why are you fighting me? Okay, good. As much as you guys would like me to go through everything, the embroidery just can't work during the show the entire time because it'll just take too long. So a lot of it I'll be doing off camera. So it's going to be like a cooking show, honestly, where you guys are going to see what I'm doing on camera is going to be like only a small sample of what the finished product's going to be. So all I need is this. That's a good sample of what we're doing right here. Levi copy. And good, we're in the sources. Call it embroidery. Embroidery detail. This kind of good housekeeping, like keeping track of everything, is super important. So I'm going to shrink this down because otherwise we won't be able to see it. It'll be mechanically huge. Can't put it on top of because of skin tones. I'm going to drag it on top of everything so it sits just on top of the whole jam. Now, you can see my approach here. So, why embroidery is tricky is I can see every thread, so that means one side of every thread will have shadow. I can also see where light hits each thread with a highlight. And then, to top things off, I have global lighting hitting both sides. One whole side is darker and one whole side is lighter. So that's kind of like a 3-4 step process. So let's begin. First off, what's going to be really tedious is I have to do all this with a pretty small brush because already he's really small. This is a 29 pixel brush. I'll jump down to 3 and you're going to see 3 is arguably too big. Look at that. Like this brush, if I did this as a thread of yarn or string, is almost too big. Here's my proof. We actually have a size reference over here. I have a single thread that if I laid it across somebody's fingernail would look thick like yarn. Like if I had a thread that thick, it would look more like what's called raffia or cord, or like a really, really thin shoelace for like, I don't know, nice loafers or something like that. So I have to go smaller than a 3 pixel brush, but honestly a 1 pixel brush would be like a joke. I can't really do anything with a 1 pixel brush. So I'm probably stuck at 2 and I have to make that look as good as I can. So I'm going to set the direction. The direction is always going to go whatever's going to look the best. Right now I'm going to have like kind of like a radial, like a sunburst pattern. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to set up my tattoos selection. And I'm going to set up on the tattoos themselves and have its own layer for shadow, tattoo shadow. And really quick, I can see tattoos having its own subfolder because it's going to be like a multi-layer process, almost like doing eyes. Because every time I do eyes, I make that a slow and kind of tedious process because I want it to be thorough. And I want to micromanage every element of it. So I want full opacity, so when the color flows in, it flows in nice, but I want a really, really low flow. So I'm going to do 8 and see how it goes. So, nope, I don't like that. I want to... Now is one of those times when, like, Zombie, if he's watching, is like, oh, this is my life. I'm going to darken up just a little bit because I want it to... And, oh, nope, I'm doing it wrong already. I've established consistently, the light source for all of them comes from the left. So I have to consistently darken anything that's on the right. And so under and right always gets a little bit more shadow. And this right side regarding global value would be foreshortened away from the light source, because this is on his close to his bicep at the bottom of his delts. So that means the left side is almost in full light. So I'm going to dial back the flow a little bit. If you guys remember, the flow is how fast the darkness comes down. The darkness. So I don't know the angle. There we go. A lot of little stuff here. If you watch this in a speed, already it should kind of look like thread, because honestly it's just a ton of little non-work. But wait till I start to make it dramatically light and dark, then it should. I want the illusion to be real clear. If I was really going to task on this, I would see. You can see what's tedious is this. This should feel, for any of you art kids out there, like doing colored pencil work. Colored pencil work straight up sucks. It is one of my least favorite mediums. Why? Because you think colored pencil is the best until you actually get trained in painting. And then, if you like painting, and that's a big if, you start to see how fast painting is compared to colored pencil work. And colored pencil work it just takes forever, because at the end of the day, you're covering whatever your space is, your format, with the tip of a pencil. So as long as it would take for you to cover an entire, let's say a 12 by 18, which is a pretty standard artwork palette, not even a sketchbook, like I'll go a little bit bigger like a project. If it takes you hours to cover that with the tip of a single pencil covering everything, then that's how long it's going to take with colored pencil, but then you add the amount of layers of color you've had. So colored pencil just straight up sucks, because you cannot make it go faster. Nobody can make it go faster. It takes as long as it takes. But with paint, there's so much cheating you can do. You can just thin it. You can slap it down with your hand and cover the page and get base coats down. You can use thicker brushes, thinner brushes, whatever. Did I duplicate layer? What did I do? What's going on here? What's all this then? Okay, I must duplicate it like an idiot. So I've now made a new layer called Highlight, and I have color sampled our bright green. And now I'm going to come in here. I have to get into pixel time, which I don't really like doing. I don't like seeing the individual pixels because it kind of pulls you out of the moment. And I'm going to drop down to a single pixel brush. It doesn't get smaller than this. This draws only a single box. Woo-hoo. So I'm going to float along where the quote-unquote thread would be. And it's a real trick for my eye to see this close and to see the forest for the tree I'm staring at. It's really tricky. Now, I guess I should be, if I were really going to task about this, I'd be counting out threads to make sure they're consistent, but I'm only so masochistic. Now, let's see how that looks. That is not bad. It looks vaguely like thread. Let's see how it looks at the multiply layer when the black comes into it. Actually, no, I'll come in and I'll tweak it later. But you can see that's the base concept that's going to be applied to every embroidered tattoo. It'll be a 2-pixel brush with a flat base coat, a 2-pixel brush shadow, another layer of 2-pixel brush highlight, or sorry, a 1-pixel brush highlight, and then me going in and really tweaking. Like, one thing I lack that I really need for this to look right, if you look, The beauty of embroidery, one of the things that makes it great, is because it comes up off the surface, it has a drop shadow. So I will actually be kind of layering in a little bit of a drop shadow effect with the thick lines around the tattoos. I don't even know if the drop shadow effect will be seen. I'm not sure. So now I got to go in and my gut is telling me this needs some real shadow, and my shadow's just not dark enough. So I'm going to come in and layer in a higher flow of the dark green on the shadow layer. And I'm going to be in a 1 pixel brush. Oh, no wonder. I was set to 100% hardness. I was like, why is this coming in so sharp? I'm going to zoom out. God, I hate the grid. I hate the grid so much. Makes it impossible to see what you're doing. Layering in lines, layering in lines. And getting Tim to figure out what the colors meant took a while. It took a while. Now, I am very guilty of being a cryptic DM. I don't like giving hints. I make my players wait. I try and make them figure it out. Love it when they figure it out on their own, but yeah. To Jeff's credit, he hates the crypticism. He really hates it. He's like, can we just move on with the story? It's like, but it's fun. So I fully endorse him being as cryptic as he wants in his game, because I've earned that. So I'm now going to go in with tiny motes of black. I'm going to make it a new layer in case I hate what I'm doing. And I'm going to set a really low flow because I want to come in really subtle. Oh, look at that. It's nice. I like that. Single pixel brush. Only on the dark side, so I can really help with the idea of global lighting. Because there's individual lighting and like global lighting, and it's kind of hard to explain. Individual value is like the value that's hitting the particular area you're working on, but then you can't, every part of an object, in this case a person, can't have a full range of value, because that's not how it works. Like if he was turned away from the sun, then one whole area would be darker or not. You're curious if you actually got the right answer or not? Oh, regarding what? Just so you know, I'm probably not going to confirm whether you got a right answer or not, Pan, but I am very curious as to what you think you got the right answer about. Well, you were wrong. The keyhole isn't a keyhole. It was a doorknob. So I'll give you that much. You've suffered long enough, so not a keyhole, doorknob. That I kind of like for now. Kind of like that, actually. It's really frustrating now is now we got, like, if you take a look at his arm, like, he's all these flat colors and then this hyper detailed tiny thing. So it just looks like so out of place because it's so detailed compared to everything else around it. All right, so the embroidery is going to take forever and a day. So I'm not going to do the rest of that year. I want to get bigger stuff tackled for now. So we're going to put I'm going to put all of that in its own folder and just call it tattoo, because it's going to be a lot. It's going to be just too much. That is tattoo highlight goes in there. And well, that's like part of the nightmare is that's why I hate the grid, because when you zoom in, you suddenly can't see you see it the way you'd like. But there's no way I could have a steady hand work at this distance. That's impossible. So I'm gonna keep embroidery detail in there. And I'll even put the palette in there for now. And why not? And so I'll shut off the palette because that's going to be very distracting. So now let's clothe this gentleman, this young gentleman. I've got stuff to show y'all. I've been shopping. I found a coat. Love that coat. Looks all beat up and worn. Isn't that great? That was a happy accident. I was shopping for something else. Look at all these stitchings. And it's clearly like it's holding together, but it's not. Oh, love this. We're going to use that for the shirt that's tattered underneath. We will have to Frankenstein this coat into that shirt. That'll be its own whole process. And I went pants shopping too. Got 2 pairs of pants. Now, pants shopping was tricky because literally every picture of jeans is somebody facing forward. They're not faced the same angle as Bowron. So this was the best I could do. I'm going to see how this looks, and we might steal the rips from this one. We're definitely not going to do the racing stripes because it looks just silly. Just silliness. So, gonna grab, you guys are familiar with this next process. Sadly, it's not fun. I have to do a selection. So, hey, how's everybody doing today? This is gonna take forever. Coming through here, we don't have paths set up for the pants yet. If I was more forward thinking about my audience, I would have set it up already. And who says there's no music on this channel? I got that lounge singer vibe. A cool tool. Lately, I would have been using like magic wand or something on this guy, but he hasn't been too reliable lately. There's just too many subtleties that the magic wand hits, and then when I don't do this, magic wand selects white space, but it won't select the black edge. And when we don't paint the black edge over with color, what? Are you kidding me? I rock shopping. If I went shopping, you would get a lot of Levi's gear that has my name on it, because that's all I get for myself, and gaming shirts. Unless I'm going to work. And then I wear like shirts that have that waffle texture, those waffle shirts, because polos straight up need to burn in hell. Yeah, kilts are Fridays. Like, I am branded in my school district as the guy that wears a skirt. I'm not joking. Every Friday they're like, you could wear jeans this Friday. I'm like, sweet, I'm gonna wear a skirt. And then I'm the art teacher in my conference. Like, we all know each other by where we work. It's like, oh, you the Yorkville teacher? Oh shit. Hi kids, I work at Yorkville. And I'm like, oh, you're the one that wears the skirt. I'm like, yep, that's me. Oh man, this edge that's all grainy is looking so garbage. Wait a minute. I might have found a reason why that is. Hold on. I have a theory. Oh shit, did I lose it? Control Z, come back. Oh, okay. Minor panic attack. I hate it when that happens. You can end a brush prematurely, and then it immediately jumps from wherever you started to wherever you are. And that is not good. Not good at all. Doing a selection here. Love kilts. Don't want to go back. Love kilts. I wear patchy hobo pants. Character stays. You want the character stays in clothing? Not everybody wears patchy hobo pants. Coda's wearing full armor. Morgaine's gonna look. Morgaine's gonna look good. Like Morgaine, he's a not bard, and even though he's an adventurer, clearly Morgaine has a bit more of a sense of style. Whereas I thought Skeezer should be eclectic. Ballerin should look like he doesn't give a shit. And I wanted Fulcrum to look something in between. Like he's trying, but he had to make do with what he could get his hands on. And I thought that's like generally the approach I'm going to go with. Now, the irony there is Fulcrum is a warlock. So he had to min-max a little into charisma. But I wasn't going to take the clothing into account for the charisma. I didn't see the point. So we are avoiding the sword, because the sword is going to be its own crazy nightmare, because I have yet to find something I'm happy with. But it will happen. It'll happen. You know, art is as much a process of faith. Like, here I am doing this, and no joke, all the time. All the time. I tell myself, all right, before I'll like get up in front of the students if I'm having a day where I'm not as sure of myself, I have to literally remind myself, hey, you're better at this than the kids are. You've done this for like, oh God, 16 years. If you're not good at it by now, you should have quit. You're good. And I have to tell myself that, or sometimes I don't believe it. So it is funny with the art as a process of faith. You have to accept that you might not have an answer now, but that an answer is somewhere in you. You'll just figure it out later. And honest to God, the process feels like, oh, don't give me... Okay, I got plans for that loot, Cam. No joke. I got plans. I really do. And you can actually assist in that if you feel like going shopping. No joke. I imagine you have a lot of opinions on what a good guitar... Oh, shit. What just happened? Oh, I just did that. Damn it. All right, well, let's investigate something. Yes! Oh, I knew it! Okay, so remember how that grainy edge was pissing me off? And I'm like, how would I have allowed that to occur and get past me? That means at some point I accidentally set the illustration layer to a dissolve blending mode. And dissolve makes everything look grainy. So, oh, look at that. Original lines come back. Original lines come back. No shitty edge. Oh, yes! Yes! Okay. Oh, you guys have no idea how much better I feel now. That was driving me up a wall. And I was a dum-dum, and I started this selection that you already saw me do with a remove from selection command. So any of the selection tools, magic wand, quick select, polyagonal lasso, or polygonal lasso, all marquee, all of them can, if you hold down shift, it will start adding to a previous selection. And if you hold down alt, it will remove from a previous selection. And I was dumb and held down alt for this, meaning I bothered to trace out a whole thing that I had not had selected. And I told Photoshop, hey, can you remove this from the selection? And Photoshop is a loyal soldier that follow orders unless you're working with a Thmart tool, because the Thmart tools are not cool, and they decide to take initiative, which nobody wants in the military. They want you to follow orders. So right now, I am now actually adding, like I said I would. So here we go. But anyway, Cam, as I was trying to get to... Shit! I Oh, I did it again. I double clicked. If you accidentally click on the same point twice, it will assume you're done. And it will grab the beginning and the end point and put a straight line between the two. Luckily, it only grabbed a chunk of that skin tone, which I don't want it to grab. Because I just want pants here, people. I just want Tim's pants. Is it too much to want Tim's pants? So, here we go. I am going to go into here, and these are all rips, so they're okay. They're okay, because they're ripped jeans. They're ripped jeans. Oh, no, that'll be okay, because that little line in there must have been the original skin? Yes? No? Can't remember? Oh, he's married. Oh, I don't want to get into his pants. I'm not a homewrecker. Okay. So, I can't see my original line. I'm going to redraw into the illustration layer a new line. Oh, this is getting dangerous, folks. This is ill-advised. But here's the thing. If I have a ripped jeans there, I should be able to see his shin. His foreleg. But this line over here, I think, was meant to be the foreleg. It feels like it's too far back. It feels like it's too thin. It just feels a little abnormal to me. So I'm going to come in here with 100%, with a slightly, mostly hard brush, because I don't want 100% hard. It'll make too sharp of pixels. Now that line is too thick, but that does feel... No, I take it back. Take it all back, take it all back, take it all back, take it all back, just to have you. Well, my life is real great, and well on my way. And I'm getting to do it with you. All right, that I feel good about. I'm going to remove that from the pants layer because that's actually skin tone, so we have to also add that to the skin tone layer because reasons. Nope, did it wrong again because I am disconnected today. I still have yet to tell Cam what he gets to do, so he's just sitting there going like, is he going to tell me? Cam or Ron. What you get to do is, if you've got specific guitars you like, even if, like, they're not in any way, shape, or form a lute, or more specifically, Cam, wood grains that you like for a guitar, or color palettes, start sending them to me. But don't send me anything that is of low resolution. So when you search on Google, make sure that you send high resolution, large size photos. Because then whatever you send me, I will just steal that grain, literally, and lay it over top of your lute. We'll be able to alter the color a little bit. Well, really, we can alter the color any way we like. And then once that's done, your lute will literally look like whatever color setup you want. If you guys didn't know, all the color palettes for the various characters were discussed early on. The only one who's a little up in the air is Fulcrum, like I'm working on right now, because Kodo's blue, Skeezer's meant to be mostly purples, and Balrin was obviously meant to be greens at his request, because he worships he's a druid, and he is worships a goddess of the sea. And he felt green was more in keeping than a blue. And so Morgaine, as requested, was meant to be a red. We wanted each guy on the map to kind of have their own color vibe, so at a distance they can be well seen, which is not a very D&D kind of thing, but presentation is very much what we want to do with we want the visuals to really pop. So that's a kind of designer approach to things, but it's where we are. So Morgaine will be a lot of reds. At least his clothing will be a lot of reds. Coincidentally, any nerds out there, I am reading Patrick Rothfuss's The Name of the Wind trilogy, and you would actually like it, Cam, except that I know you don't read. Is Ike here today? Ike always says he's here, but I never am entirely sure if he's here because he's such a ninja. Anyway, if Ike is here, I've already recommended it to him, because Ike is like Captain Audiobook, because the poor man has to live in a car so much for his job. Yeah, what's your issue? He likes audiobooks. Are you picking on Clint now? I wouldn't do that. I would not pick on Clint. I wouldn't go down that road. I'd lay off Cam. Cam, leave Clint alone. Good God, man. So, yeah, anyway, my point is, there is an entire series, there's an entire group inside Patrick Rothfuss's world, and it's a low fantasy world. There is magic, but even the nature of magic is kind of low fantasy. They try to make magic seem like complicated physics. It is magic, like the average person can't do it, but they make it seem very systematic. And anyway, there's a group of mercenaries that are their own culture, and they all wear very tight-fitting red leathers as a symbol of their culture. So if you see one from far away, you know what they are. And they're called the ADEM. That's the people's name. They're the ADEM mercenaries, and they all wear red leathers with a lot of stripies. And so it's kind of funny that I know that's going to be Morgane's look, and I'm already reading a whole group of characters that is their look in the book. Morgane, any thoughts? Do you have any theories as to why the ADEM wear red leathers? It is discussed. Anybody know? Anybody know? Anybody read the books? Patrick Rothfuss, good stuff. Very good stuff. Okay, here's your hints. Yeah, that is exactly why. So they can't see him bleed in combat. So, they're all handmaids. So you can't see an ADEM bleed in combat, so you never really know if you are in the process of defeating one or not. So that's pretty cool. Just like Deadpool, I didn't want to give it away. So bad guys can't see me bleed. Hope these guys are wearing the brown pants. Oh man, I want a Deadpool 3. Who doesn't want a Deadpool 3? The series is so fantastic. The Harley Quinn movie was good. I watched it here at home. Thanks to global pandemic, I'm getting to see movies from my own home that would not normally be in my home so soon. But I'm telling you, loved parts of Harley herself was great, but the Harley movie almost moves a little bit too fast-paced. I didn't think it could. It's a little jarring how quick it moves. They were trying to go for that, like, frenetic, Deadpool-like energy, I think. I really liked it. It was a lot of fun. They nailed Huntress. I think that's one of my favorite versions of Huntress I've seen. And they did a good job with Montoya. Didn't love the switch up of Black Canary, but they explained it pretty well, which is pretty cool. They made it canonical. All right, so I finally have his pants cut. Good God. Do I have all of them? No. Is that a belt? Damn it. Yeah, there's more pants, everybody. Sorry. More pants hiding through the ripped shirt because I'm a dumb. Gotta come in here and get these little pants fragments. So, congratulations are in order for Jeff Pan the Man. We had some great news. If you hadn't, go ahead and share it on the stream, Jeff. about your stream from last night and the one before that. I love it how I can hear my daughter just constantly screaming upstairs. I think they're fun screams. It's my older brother who, if he's got a screen in front of him, doesn't play with me. He's finally playing with me. Which her older brother's playing because we took his phone away. So he has no choice. He has nothing better to entertain himself with. So, now he suddenly discovers his sister's a lot of fun. Parenting. Yeah. Well, tell him why it was good news. Check that out. Pathfinder's official channel added our videos to their channel. How fucking cool is that? I gotta make Dig Bungle great. I really like our character setup. I really do. I mean, Timmy was like the dark horse. I had no idea what Jasper Smoothhands was going to sound like, but the cool thing is, as a voice and as a character, he's a cool counter for all of us. We all counterbalance each other well. So much fun. So much fun. Okay, so I finally have a pants selection up and running, and now I'm going to make work path, and I'm going to call it pants. Now I have a pants path, and now I'm going to make selection so I can deselect. Otherwise, if I try and move stuff, things get weird. And now I'm going to grab these pants, and we're going to do the kind of molding effect where we got to layer these out so they're on top of his actual pants, which is like, that's the one that everybody gets a kick out of. See, the funny thing is, I'm actually going to pull Dig's religious fanaticism back a little because I didn't account for just how many times the wild effect was going to kick in. I should have known because everybody's talking about it so much. So I'm going to play it up like Dig was getting hit hard during game with just how much his God was with him that day, which is more than it's ever been. Okay, trying to make these pants fit. Gonna bring the opacity down so I can see through. This is like the stuff where things get tricky because you're looking at so much it melts your head a little bit. And here comes warp. Anne's favorite. I gotta bring the waistline down so it matches the waistline of the pants. Gotta bring the butt in. Bring the butt in? Yeah, I gotta bring the butt in, guys. Wouldn't it be cool if I could actually get the seam from the pants to exactly match the seam I drew? That would be the jam. That would be the mama jamma. I think I'm going to try and go for that. That's going to be the plan here. I'm going to try and get all my seams to actually line up to the pants. Oh yeah, the 23rd is going to be a mess. We're just going to die. Well, it was a cool justification for me because Dig has had... I don't want to go too much into Dig's backstory off stream. Like, that's a no-no. You don't do that. You don't do that, kids. That's bad form. Bad form. Very bad form. But what I want to do is basically treat it like he hasn't had as many events happen as have happened with this group, which is definitely proof this group is where he belongs. Funny thing is, I am not terribly fanatically devoted to religion in real life, and yet I love playing a religious fanatic. So much fun. Go figure, right? Oh, this is frustrating me. Okay. We have a problem. Houston! We have a problem. Here's my problem. I can't warp one leg without warping the other, so I have to abandon this project and duplicate. So I have to duplicate the pants layer and keep a clone over here, because I'll have to do each leg kind of separate. You'll see what I mean, but like one was getting the Fulcrum's right leg, for us it's the left side, was getting way too skinny, and every time I tried to flare it out, it would get it would make the other one too thick. So it could be me. Oh, it's me. Well, isn't that good for everybody? So I'm going to... It's my mic. That's trash. That's Trashville. Let me check my mic. Let's see where my audio's at. No. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm gonna stop. Warp. So. Nope, wrong one. Warp and pants 1. Setting the opacity low so I can see what I'm doing. Now I'm gonna set it to warp so I can warp stuff into place. I'm moving a butt. He's moving a butt. He is moving a butt. Check him out, he's moving a butt. Not gonna worry too much about this side in general. I'm just gonna stare at this one. I think it's just your connection that's digitizing a bit, but not sure how or why if it's straight to your computer. Well, okay. So I'm just gonna act like nothing's wrong and move on with my life. So hold on, what's the timer? Like, we have to finish the dungeon within a certain amount of time? Still kind of unclear as like how this whole thing works. Oh, this seam is getting to be a lot. It's getting to be a lot. How am I gonna do this? I think we're gonna have to liquefy. Like, there's no other way. There's just no other way. Scale this down. Reopen the warp. Okay. Oh man. Come on. Work with me here. I just want what I want. Give me what I want. Okay. Timmy's pants have issues. We get avoided. Oh, God. So, who's your money on, everybody? It's not going to be us. Like, I'm wondering who's the most methodical about getting through a dungeon. I bet Grouch Couch is going to be oddly good at it. Okay, I'm going to set that and set the opacity up. Now I'm going to take that to liquefy. I kind of have to, because no matter what, I'm not going to get that seam right. Hey, what's up? What's up, drama? So... they know their dice. All right. Pika's saying that dragons knows their dice. I'm willing to agree with you on that one. Don't think enough, get killed. Ugh, okay. That means we're gonna die. What do I want? I don't want all layers as my backdrop. I only want the illustration as my backdrop. Yes, and I want it behind or in front. I want it in front, and I want the opacity nice and mixed. There we go. That's nice. Isn't that nice, everybody? It's so nice. Okay. Forward warp tool. Help me out here. You're too big. This guy is a miracle worker. Got clicky click clicking, liquefying. I will have this sucker exactly on the seam, so the seam that's already there only helps me. It only assists. It does not obstruct. Yeah, seam. You do what I say. You're getting liquefied.
I'm your father now, Seam.
DCC is fun. I've gotten to play it like twice. It is so simple. You are not going to like it, Jeff. You are not going to like it. Jeff, did you have a caster? Because casting is actually kind of interesting in that one. Or did you go with a robber? Yeah, that's fair. We're gonna have like no role play. Okay, cool. No pressure. You gotta get us through the dungeon, thief. Okay. Moving some stuff, moving some stuff. Starting to get some weird stretchy lines, which I don't really like. Okay, I'm gonna have to resolve that in a different fashion, but I have ideas. Where's my reconstruct? Reconstruct is mend, everybody. Reconstruct is the cantrip mend. Look at that. I'm painting a mend, painting a mend. And I'm gonna move it back, moving it back. Who says there isn't music on my channel? All right. Moving some of that butt in. Gonna get some of Tim's sweet butt action going. No, I said it. No, I know what I said. No regrets. Okay. Oh, why thank you. Players who are accustomed to homebrew games the DM can be flexible are not going to fare as well as those who are using modules that have one answer. We're gonna die. That's all we do. That's all we do is flex and just move stuff around. All right, let's see that. Okay, not bad. I am going to run a selection to remove the second pants leg so I can then mod in the second pants leg. And I'm not going to pay attention to my original illustration. I am going to only pay attention to the seam on the actual jeans for the texture. And zoom out. Well, that's all I really want. That's all I really actually want, Ogle. Yes, please, everybody. David Lee Pancake is a gentleman and a scholar, and if you would be so kind as to consider looking at his artworks, I guarantee you'll see something that you like. Whoa! You are riding a unicorn!
Yeah.
What's the unicorn's name?
His name is Pink Lady.
Pink Lady?
Whitey.
Pink Whitey?
Yeah. But no one's down here with us.
Yeah, no one's down here. It's just us. I love you very much.
It's just us. Mama is not down here.
I'm talking to a bunch of people that you can't see, and, honey, you're not on camera. Do you want to come up and just say hi real quick?
Sure.
Okay, come here.
Just be careful.
Oh, I'll be very careful. I'll be very careful. Okay.
No one's even down here.
Well, no, I'm down here, but there's a bunch of people. So, here.
I know.
No, just say hello.
But I don't want to.
Okay, then say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, kids.
Bye-bye, kids. I love you, little bear.
I thought they were kids of yours.
Oh, okay. Oh. Okay. Hi, everybody. That's my 4-year-old. She's everything. Oh, okay. What are we doing here? I'm busy. What are we doing here? Okay, so I removed the left leg from the other set of pants, so I need the left leg from this set of pants. So we're gonna run a selection because Polly is my girl, and Polly gets it done right. So now I'm on this pants copy. I'm going to layer via copy. I'm going to vanish this. So now I have this pant leg. And this is Frankensteining, people. We're going to bring this over here and then try and make these two pieces fit together in a way that's going to work for our texture effect. So we have less work in the end, and then the modified texture effect of it looking like real pants that I then also tool up will suddenly just do so many jobs for me. I'll never need to hand paint again, because why? Just why? Now, for like a comic book style approach, it's kind of the only way. But I like a nice hybrid, which I think is doable if you come at it the right way. So now I can see. I'm actually going to vanish the one leg because I can't see what I'm doing. Keep that there. Yeah, now I can see what I need to see. So let's do this. So I got up warp. That's that. Bring this over. I have to flare this side out a lot for that seam. That seam is getting very fat. That seam is getting a little ridiculous. Moving this in, moving this out, angling this out so I can slide this whole thing in. Moving the top this way. Oh, nice. We're not going to do fine. We're going to die. I think that's really clear. But you're very kind to say so. It's, yeah. I mean, you can make it character driven if you want. When we played it with a different group, I tried to push the character driven side of it because that's all I like to do, because the role play is my favorite part. I could care less about like combat. I mean, everybody loves rolling a good hit, you know, or being effective for the party, but at the end of the day, role play is where it's at for me.
I like just telling stories, guys. I like telling stories real bad.
Okay. I need to jump into liquefy at this point. Good. It's going to let me work. And it remembered, guys. Liquefy remembered what I wanted. Thanks, Liquefy. You're a peach. Forward warp. Good. We're moving the right stuff. Smaller brush. No, not that small. That's just criminally small. Warpy warp. Painting with Liquefy. Don't want to grab that seam too much. Just want to grab enough to stretchy stretch without anybody noticing the stretch marks of the brush. Gotta ride that seam a lot. Gonna scooch it over some. Gonna scooch it over a lot, except down here where it's a lost cause. I seem to see a clone behind me. That might be it remembering its past. Show mask, no. Oh well. I'm going to abandon this midsection with the seam because I'm just not going to get what I want. And when I warp it over here, it's going to warp too far. So I'm going to call that. You can see it like juke to the side. And instead, I'm going to bring the opacity way up. And I'm going to do, yeah, see how it gets weird right here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, this is another cheat. I'm working on this pants layer. I'm going to grab this whole section of leg right here. And I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to drag it down. And I do clones on top of themselves constantly. I'll grab a piece of a clone and lay it on top of itself. And then I will take a layer mask and paint it away so you don't even know I stole it from itself. Set the flow lower so I can hide the evidence. Gotta hide the evidence, kids. Now that side looks good. This other side looks nasty. But I will fight that battle when I come to it. So right now I'm going to merge it down and just commit to it. I'm just going to commit. Now I need to do this separate. So I'm going to take a pants layer. Pants. Select. And I'm going to click on this. And I'm going to take a selection tool. Get to see the pants happen before I leave the stream for the day. Layer by copy. Oh, that looks nice and sharp. And now I got to go back to the other pants leg and summon it. Nice. And I'm going to click on my pants. Make selection. And on this layer, I'm going to layer via copy. And then delete. Nice. I'm sorry. I know I'm like patting myself in the back, but I never get tired of seeing that effect come into play because it's like magic. It's like the big reveal. It just looks so cool when it happens. Delete. I don't need pants copy anymore. Let's work on this bullshit down here that just looks really, really shitty. So I'm going to grab a selection of it. And I'm going to make it, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use the pants selection. Let's look up top and see what's going up here. This actually looks kind of perfect because that layer is exactly in front like it should. So I'm just going to merge it down, call it a day. So I got my pants there. Pants! Now, with my pants layer, I'm going to set up my selection. Boom. Boom diggity. Now I'm going to carefully do clone stamping because I'm just going to clone stamp this, all this jazz right here. with 0 hardness. So I'm going to clone stamp from over here, but I'm going to paint over this. And I'm going to set a low flow. So I only paint, and this is going to take care of a lot of problems for me. I just got to be careful about where I grab, because I want to keep it in this dark range of gray, because up here, if I just keep flowing up, it'll be, you know, brighter. I like the low flow. Flow's got to stay low, kids. Want the flow to be nice and low. Keep control. Keep handling it. Let's keep professional, people. Let's keep professional. Now I can run right over the sword because it's not part of the selection, so I don't have to worry about painting over it. But I have to worry right here at this line edge because I'm going to start losing that line otherwise. So now I'm going to zoom in and get real surgical here. Get a little bit darker. Just flow up. Oh, yes. A little bit darker here. Take care of that fadey edge so you can't hide. So I can hide what I'm doing a little bit better. Shouldn't just hit the sword and go light like that. So I'm going to grab some dark from over here and kind of fade it down on top of what I've been doing. Now, we got pants, people. We got pants. Yay, pants. Pants are not set to the multiply layer, so watch this magic. Multiply. Now, they clearly look like modern jeans. So our next job is to bring in other textures to sort of obscure that so they don't look like modern jeans. But it's a great place to stop for today. So we've done some tattoo work. We got some pants. He now has skin, which he didn't have before. It is a slow go, but that's DM2Art. As much as I would love things to be as fast as Bardic Knowledge, credit where credit's due, it's just not how this stuff works. So, all right, everybody. That's all she wrote. Thanks for coming out to DM2Art today. I will leave you with just looking at Fulcrum in all of his glory. Let me drop a new nice middle gray. Nice warm gray background. Yeah, there he is. That's a boy. So, let's do the outro. This is my wife's favorite part, she's told me. Hi. So, I'm Captain Fulcrum, and I know that's strange. I'm still getting used to it too. So thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching me get better pants. I really like them. So come on by in 2 hours for World War Z. The guys, but not me, are going to be killing zombies. I'm going to be playing Final Fantasy while they kill zombies, because wife. And that is important, people. So, that said, come on by. The next time we have something up will be tonight, and then after that, I believe we're clear Saturday and Monday. Who is our guest for Wisdom Check? Anybody? I don't know. Thanks, Pika. So, as I await them to say who's up for Wisdom Check, oh, George Jaros will be on Wisdom Check. Come on by. And the discussion topic will be what, Jeff Pancake? Board games and storytelling. So please come on by and check it out. George will be there for Wisdom Check on Monday. Tuesday is always Bardic Knowledge. Very good show.
Not as good as this one, but there's no accounting for taste. And then that leaves, are we doing Pathfinder 2 next Wednesday? Is it every Wednesday? Yes! Okay, so every Wednesday, come on by for awesomeness. You have to be there. So, thank you very much, and stay safe out there, and good luck. Thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed yourself, and see you next time.